Hey friends, what is good? There is an important update about Bonsai. Blender has released recently the beta version 5.1, and if you want to access the latest versions of Bonsai, you need this version. Why? Because the Python version has also been updated and is not working with the latest build anymore. So if you were using Blender 5.0 with Bonsai, you are not going to be able to get a newer version of Bonsai after February 25th, I think. That's the oldest or like the most recent daily build that you can get from Bonsai using that. There are two ways if you want to get latest unstable versions, and that's by either using the long-term stable version of Blender, which is 4.2 or something like that, or you can use the latest Blender version, which is in beta for few days, I think, for 1 more week or something like that. I think is going to go out of beta 5.1 Blender to on 12th of March 2026. So if you want to do that, I'm just going to show you how you can install, how you can access this. So let me explain even better this. So if we go here to Bonsai or to ifcopenshell GitHub repository, and if we go here to the unstable build, because why do you want this first and foremost? Because you are going to get all the bug fixes, new features, and you cannot access it using the stable version, okay? So that's the reason why I use this. If you do use drawings and you want a more stable version, you can have two installs. So I would have this one plus a more stable one like Blender 4.2, for example, with a stable Bonsai version, so that you don't get so many disruptions, because the drawing module sometimes it's affected by the newer updates and features and it takes some time to get fixed. So that's why I would recommend two. But if you don't deal with drawings, then you have no reason actually to not use the latest version. And that's what I recommend, because you don't miss on new features and especially bug fixes, okay? So what's happening here? If we look here, we see that on the unstable installation, we have two kind of versions, not really two, but yeah, you can see here they are for two Blender versions, I mean, and they are also for different platforms. We see here Blender versions 4.2, 4.2, 4.2, all of these are 4.2, so we have three versions for Windows x64, Mac OS and Linux. We don't even have anymore for Mac M1, for example, for 4.2. So if I would want to use that, I would not be able. I would have to use only this, because this is the only one that I can install right now. macOS ARM64. I think I see that is missing the macOS normal one for Bonsai for Blender 5.1, and we can see here, right? So this is the newest version. What's happening? The biggest difference here is that Python version has changed from 3.11 or 3.12 to 3.13. This is the newest Python version. So that's the reason why it's not going to work anymore if you try to install this build into Blender 5.0, because Blender 5.0 has 3.12, I guess. So that's why we have to do this, okay? And how do we do it? Well, let me show you. I told you that first we'll have to install a new Blender version, and you go, how do you do that? Is by going to blender.org, or you can search blender.org and you will get a page here. You go here and now you go to download. You'll see here Blender 5.0, okay? Don't panic yet. You just click on download and you will see some things here. And now let me zoom this so you can see better. We see here, try Blender 5.1 beta. This is the one that we need, okay? Sorry. So you click here and then you get this doomy page, but we see the version right here, Blender 5.1 beta, and it should be already for your operation system, the version, the install package, right? You can see in this case for Apple Silicon, this is the operating system that I have on my laptop, okay? So for you, it's going to show Windows, most probably. If you are on a Windows machine, most of you are, right? So in that case, you just download. So we download this. I'm just going to show you all the steps. I had it installed from before, I just removed it, and now I'm going to show you all the steps so you don't miss anything. Okay, first thing, download Blender and install this. Even if you have an older version, it shouldn't be overwritten or something like that. Even if you have 5.0. But again, like if you have that, I would also sorry, it's installing right now. You could also remove it if you want. Okay, you can also remove it if you don't need it anymore, or you can install it back anytime after that, right? So that's what I would do. Let me see where I was here, and actually let me move this here. Okay, cool. Now I installed Blender. Now if I'm going to search for Blender and launch it, when I launch it, we don't have any Bonsai yet, right? When you install Blender, you don't have anything, and this is how it's installed by default. Okay, so it looks like it was already installed in the folder and it took it for me, and that's not good, okay? Because I don't want to see that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to uninstall it and show you all the steps anyway. Okay, so I'm going to uninstall it from here, and there you go, we don't have anything. What might happen though, let's see if I can default and load factory settings. I'm just trying to get all the settings exactly how they were from the beginning. Why is keeps sending me back there? Let's try one more time. There we go. Yeah, you see 5.1, and this looks more closer to what I was looking for. Blender, you see nothing about Bonsai. I just hope that we get everything, like, yeah, but if you don't see these things, like when you install Blender and if you don't see any extensions right here, the reason for that is because you should see a message here, to a prompt to ask you to give access to connect to the internet or something like that. And you have two buttons there. You have like stay on offline or give internet access or something like that. So you have to grant access, otherwise you will not be able to see these plugins right here. Okay, so extremely important step. Now let me make this, yeah, it's 130, it's decent. Okay, so we have to be in how do we get here again? One more time, we get on edit and preferences. Okay, we have to go to preferences and then get extensions. Now you don't want to install this. If you go here and search for Bonsai, you will find this here, and now we see the second one, we see two, because I have to remove this from here, I guess. I'm really trying to replicate everything, but for some reason I can't remove it from here. This is annoying. Add-ons is not showing here. Yeah, sorry about this. This is really not the best tutorial I did. Sorry about that. There is a difference here. You see this one comes from extensions from Blender. This is the official version, and you will see the version 0.8.4. This is not the daily build, right? Because if we go here, we will see that this version is Bonsai 0.8.5, okay? So if you want this version, this is the one we need. And again, like, it's very weird, because usually it was supposed to show here, and I was supposed to have a button like uninstall or something like that. And yeah, weird. Maybe because it's added here, not so sure. Let's see, available. Yeah, very weird. But yeah, let's assume that that's not the case. How do you go from here instead of searching? Because if you search here Bonsai, you will not see the second one. You will not see this one coming 0.85.5, right? You will see only this one, and you don't want to install it from here, because if you install it from here, it's going to be outdated. Okay, don't do that. To get to see the second one, that you want to install, this one right here, which I have it, we have to do this step. We have to, like I mentioned, to go to the GitHub. We will have to use the GitHub page for that. Let's see, where is the, we have to bring this window because that's where we want to drag and drop it, okay? And I'm going to do this, I'm going to minimize this. Like the easiest way to do this is just by having it side by side. And now you look here, like how do we get here? First, let me do it one more time so you can follow closer. Just search for IFC OpenShell GitHub. That's what you have to search, IFC OpenShell GitHub. Then you click here and you end up on this page. You see here releases, go here and now click on this button. Oh, wait. Let me show you one more time because I think I have my face here. So yeah, let me move the page. You see, we have here the release on the right hand side and we press on this button. And now you don't want to install any of this because if you install any of this, you are going to get stuck on this version. It's not possible to do any update. You want to go here and press on this button and now we get to see all these things. And they are, like I mentioned, they have different versions for different operating systems and for different Blender versions. We want 5.1 and the one for your operating system. If you are using Windows, then you have to take this one. In my case, is this one, which I see is the second from the bottom up, right? So why is that important? Because we have to drag and drop this thing right here. Okay, so what you have to do now is to drag and drop this and you get a message here. You'll get to see something, you have to approve it and you have to check that checkbox. You will get a checkbox when you do that, like this. It's going to be check on for updates on startup. It's extremely important to do that so that you can actually pick up on the updates that are going to come. Nothing happened so far, so let me drag one more time. There is a chance, okay, it works. So you see, you are going to see a similar message, but it's going to be a bit different because it will ask you to also to add the repository and you just have to accept that. If you don't, you will not add it. And now it's downloading, installing. And we have to wait a bit. After we wait a little bit, then we should see this button disappearing, because when we do this, we are going to install the latest version. And in the future, let's say that tomorrow comes a new version. Let's say on Monday, there are some new commits and there is a new build released. Then you are going to get here, you are going to see a button like this one, but it's going to, the text is going to be update. So all you will have to do is just to press the button update and then restart Blender. Like in this case, we are done. We can see already, actually, you see, we can already see Bonsai installed because we see the menu, the IFC menu. That's how we know. But it's always good to close it, don't save anything, and restart it. Yeah, so these are the pages like I mentioned. Now I can just ignore them and I can go back here. I can launch Blender one more time. And there we go. And we see Bonsai. How do we know if this works or not? Well, if we create a project, we will get this right here and we can create, for example, a wall. Create a wall type and then we can model a wall. There we go. Now we know that we have the IFC menu and so on. So you can save this project. That's how it works. Or you can also test it by opening an IFC project, and if it doesn't work, then you don't have it installed. Now, if we go back here, you will see that this Bonsai installed is right here. And you can also see the date, and this is true because that's the date when it was released latest. There were no new commits, or there were few insignificant ones. So that's kind of the thing, and because usually it does it automatically, it ships when almost every day or something like that. So you get anyway quite a lot of updates. And that's the most important reason why to update. Like after 1 week or 2 weeks missing out, like you might miss out quite important features. So that's why I'd recommend you to try to use this version. But again, it's only up to you. Now that kind of how you do it. You see also here at the bottom right the version, but you can always go back here in Edit, Preferences, and expand this under the Extension tab. Bonsai, expand it, and you will see what you have installed. If you install the one from Bonsai, like I said, from Blender, you are going to get 8.4. Sorry, 0.8.4, and that's not the one you want. So that's how you do all these things. Again, I'm sorry for the not so fluent workflow. Unfortunately, I really wanted to replicate the workflow, but I didn't anticipate that some things are going to stay there after removing Blender. So next time I'm going to try to double check that before doing this again, and make sure that I remove all the files that are hanging in there and having an impact on that. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, if you have any other tips, I'm here to hear you. I'll catch up in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.